Hey there, my name is Jessub Flower. I am a screenwriter, educator, and all around learning, training, and development nut. And welcome to the My Favorite Teacher podcast. That's right. Welcome to the My Favorite Teacher podcast. It is so good to see you. Have to admit, I know I always say that I'm so excited, but I'm so excited for my guest today. This is a good friend of mine. We have been not connected for very long, but we've kind of known each other for a little bit. I'm really excited to bring to you this person because this person is somebody that is found a very good level of success. Winter Bassett is an actor. She is also a writer producer. You would definitely recognize her from a bunch of things. I'm just going to go through the things that I know her from. I was watching the movie Unfrosted with Jerry Seinfeld and the crew, and she is Little Debbie in Unfrosted. She's also Stacy in Euphoria, Jane in Lost Joy, which looks absolutely terrifying. Still need to see that one, as well as others. She's also got commercials all over the place. You've seen her with J.K. Simmons and all that kind of stuff on insurance commercials. And she's hilarious on social media. And I'm going to say this too, just because I'm a writer and it's near and dear to my heart. Her recent screenplay is a finalist in a Your Script Produced contest. And she's just kind of a big deal. So please do me a favor and welcome Winter Bassett to the podcast. Thank you, Winter, for being here.
Oh my gosh, I need you to just like repeat all my things I've done every day because I'm like,
I'll
oh, I
follow
guess I
you
have done
around.
some stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like the IMDb list is getting long, so that's really really cool.
Thank
So
God.
congratulations on all your success so far.
Thank
How are you?
you. I'm so good. Thank you for having me. I'm stoked to be here.
Absolutely, my pleasure. So you tell me a little bit about. I have to do this because I'm old enough to kind of be one of the Jerry Seinfeld guys that just had every DVD on and
Of
everything like
course.
that. How did Unfrosted come about? I got to know a little bit of the story about that.
Well, first off, I know Seinfeld. My parents had it on 24/7 in the house. So my dad freaked out when that happened. But no, it was a very classic got a self-tape request. And the funny part is there's no lines, there's no dialogue for Little Debbie. It was a reaction, thing. So I just did
Yeah.
the self-tape in my little tiny, as you can see, my little apartment, sent in 2 takes, and then all of a sudden I got, oh, you're on Avail. And
It's
I was like,
awesome.
"What the heck?" Like, it was crazy, and then next thing I know, "Okay, you're gonna be on set for 3 days." I got
It
the
was three
call sh
days.
It was a thr for me, yeah, for me, it was 3 days, and I remember getting the call sheet the night before because I was already freaking out, right? I'm like, "Oh my god, these are, like, big star like, these are
Yeah.
people that I've, like,
Yeah.
looked up to," you know? I was
Sure.
like, even just looking at, like, the articles coming out, and I'll never forget, I got the call sheet the night before, and it was like Melissa McCarthy, Amy Schumer was on there, Bobby Moynihan was on there, Kyle Mooney was on there, a lot of
Hmm.
SNL heroes
Hmm.
of mine, and I just turned to my husband. I was like, I can't go. I can't go tomorrow. Like, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to do? I'm like, Hugh Grant, like actual titans are on this call sheet, and I'm freaking out. I was like, I can't show up, and he was like, Yeah, you can. This is your job. I was like,
That's right.
Right, so, right.
Yeah.
I chose this. I chose this.
Somebody
Yeah.
looks over and just
So,
sees the husband shaking little Debbie. Get it together.
yeah, exactly. Focus. Yeah,
That's
but
amazing.
it was so fun, and like the hair and makeup and like the costume crew, they were all lovely people. Like, I'll never
Were they? Of
forget the guy who did my wig. His name's Randy. He's like an old theater lover. Like, so we had a lot to talk about. Like, it
course.
just was such a fun time, and it was 3 days. And we shot my stuff in Irvine. My stuff. I got to go.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
was a little Debbie show. But no, my days on set, they were in Irvine, and I actually live in Orange County, so it was like a ten
Okay.
minute commute. Like, it just was crazy.
That's nothing.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, it was
That is so cool.
a self tape that worked, and because you
Well, it
never know,
was,
you
if
just
memory serves, it was a part where like a lot of mascots were together, right, or something like that. Like all the
yes.
spokespeople for that. Yeah. So it was a lot of those people that
Yeah.
were all in the same
Yeah, it was like
spot.
200 plus background, and
Crazy.
it was in the middle of summer, and they were all wearing these huge mascot costumes, and I'm wearing this little dress, right? So
Yeah.
I felt kind of bad because like it was hot, but I had the most comfortable costume, and because
Absolutely.
I was a featured cast, like I was with the
Oh.
principal, I got umbrellas during, for those who don't know, often in between takes, especially if you're outside on a set, the PAs will have umbrellas for the cast. So
Yeah.
because I was part of the cool kids, I got the umbrella, but I felt terrible for everyone behind me because they're all like actually sweating and dying, wearing these huge costumes, and I'm just standing there like in a little wig and dress. I was like, oh, geez, sorry guys, like sorry. Oh,
When you're
but it
little
was
Debbie,
crazy.
though, come on, that's awesome. And no
It
talks
was so
about
fun.
being the permanent little Debbie for the future.
I've been waiting
I
for a
see a future
call.
for this. Come on.
Well, I'm waiting for Will Ferrell and I to do a buddy comedy film
There you
because he
go.
did his little Debbie's
That's right.
bit.
That's
And
right.
I'm like, come on, we'd be a perfect duo. A
Yeah, have
daddy
the old.
daughter little Debbie traveling
Oh,
show,
absolutely. I think that's a great idea.
right?
And then, so Lost Joy. Okay, for those
Yes.
of you who have not seen this trailer, this thing is intense. I full disclosure, I still have to see it, so I apologize.
No
But
worries.
just the way Winter looks in this thing, I mean, she looks destroyed, and it looks like
Very
it's a.
different.
It looks like it's a crazy kind of a sexy, scary, like all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, what was that experience like? I mean, you were the lead. You were call sheet one on that one, weren't you?
I wrote it.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that. Oh my
I
gosh.
create no, yeah, I made it. Like I
I'm the
I
worst podcast
co-wrote it.
host ever.
Yeah, no, well, no, please, please, please. It's an indie film, you know. No, my friends and I, we wrote it together. He directed, I produced, and I mean, we all wore so many hats, but that was a true labor of love. It was very, very educational. It was my first film that I was making. And yeah, it was a lot of my friends from college who we all are kind of pursuing acting together. So, and it came about right around COVID when everything kind of shut down. And we were all like, well, let's take advantage of this slow time, like maybe let's try to write a script and let's
Do something,
try to
yeah.
make it ourselves. And we didn't really know if we were going to make it ourselves. It was maybe, should we try to sell it, should we try to, I don't know, there were a lot of ideas up in the air, but I don't know. I just kept feeling like I think we need to do this ourselves. And I shared the script with my manager, Annette McCroskey, who sadly has she just recently passed. But
Oh, I'm
she,
sorry.
yeah, thank you. But she really was the one. She read it and called me and said, "I think you guys need to do this yourselves." And we were
So
like,
cool.
"We don't know how." So but we figured it out, and lots of learning curves, but we did it ourselves, and I mean, we did it ourselves. We had so much help. I say we
No,
did
of
it ourselves,
course.
but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we could not have done it without every single person involved. But yeah, my friends, really what happened was he said the magic words. He said, "I have an idea for a movie and I want you to be the lead." And then I just kind of was like, "Yeah, okay, great." And then I took over from
absolutely.
there.
How did the
But
writing
yeah.
work? How did the writing work? Did you both wrote it? Because I know
Mhm.
that Thomas and my experience was different, So did you write a lot of it? Did you write different acts? Did you just pass it back and forth? How did you guys do that?
Yeah, so my friend, he had sent me the treatment for it. He had written like a 3-page treatment. So we had like the outline essentially. And he had sent it to me the December before COVID. It's like December 2019.
Hmm.
Um, and I fell in love with the treatment. Like I called him and went, because the twist at the end I just thought was so brilliant. And I called him, I said, "This is amazing." And then when COVID happened, it was probably around summer. And he and his wife and me and my husband were all really good friends. We all went to
Cool.
college together.
Nice.
And we just went out, my husband and I went over to their house one day during COVID, and Jordan and I just sat down at the kitchen table and we pumped out the script in 12 hours.
What?
We wrote the script in 12 hours. Well, the first draft, I should say.
I
And
still.
that, yeah, it was, I mean, we were really bored. There was
My
not much happening.
gosh.
And that was the draft that we sent to Annette. And she loved it so much. And it, of course, needed a ton of revisions.
Of
But
course.
then,
Of course.
yeah, and then I kind of took over, I think, for most of the revisions and then of course rewrites, for
Wow.
pickup shoots and all that kind of stuff. Pickup shots, sorry. Yeah, so we kind of like, yeah, we both definitely shared in that. But
That's
yeah, it
incredible.
was
And I thought I
wild.
was fast. 12 hours for a movie?
I haven't done that
Man.
since. Don't get it twisted. I still the script
Oh.
that you alluded to earlier, I've been working on that one for like 4 years. So like
Okay. So tell me
so
about
no.
this. You don't have to tell me about the script or anything like that, but how did you decide or why did you decide to go, hey, I'm going to do a contest on this thing? Or not really even a contest, but like a program, I believe it is, right?
Yeah. You know what? It's kind of funny. Annette sent it to me. She cuz I'd had this script. I mean, it's had its revisions, but I've been trying to get it made for a few years, but I was trying to finish Lost Joy first. So while that was getting finished, I had this script kind of on the back burner,
Hmm.
but was still working on it. And earlier this year, I told her, "Okay, I think we're ready to start really trying to like find financing for it,
Yeah,
try to get a team together." And she often, and I get a little skeptical about submitting to screenplay festivals just
sure.
because
I know, same.
sometimes they're a scam, right? And you never really know. But Annette, I mean, I trusted Annette with everything. So when she sent it to me, I literally thought, oh, okay. And then Annette sent it to me. I'll do this one little
Right.
festival. And so far we've gotten in, and we're quarterfinalists right now.
Congratulations.
And what's also kind of cool is we're kind of already in motion to get it made. Like the wheels are kind of already turning on our end.
Oh,
So
that's so cool.
yeah. So if anything, it's been very, even if we don't make it all the way through, it's just very affirming of like,
Hmm.
one, okay, it must be a good enough story if it's advancing this much. And two, there's also this element of the story. There's kind of this theme of loss that I realized I accidentally was writing. And my character, she's lost her mom and her dad's still in the picture, but she doesn't talk to him. And just as I've been writing this story, something just hasn't been clicking. I'm like, I don't know what it is. The script is missing something. And as soon as Annette passed away, because she really was like a mother figure to me, I realized, oh, it's about her mom. So I'm in
Whoa,
rewrites right now to
that
kind of
is
make that all
great.
work. But it's just been this beautiful, like Annette was the one who sent me I mean, Annette was the one who told me to write Lost Joy. Annette was the
Right.
one who sent me the film festival. And yeah, it's just kind of like, there's still a lot of work to be done, of course, but I'm very happy with the way it's going. And in hindsight, I'm realizing, oh, it's good that it took as long as it's been taking because it
Sure.
wouldn't have been as personal, I think, as if I had all of a sudden had money back then and was able to
Right.
make it. Like it just wouldn't have been
And
as
just
deep and
shot it, and
rich.
yeah, and got it in the can.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Which
Oh
like
my
we
gosh.
you can always do, but I don't know. I'm very picky.
Well, no, I'm
I'm like, I
excited
want to
for
do it
you.
well. Thank you.
Absolutely. I think that's so cool and that's
Thank
exciting,
you.
and looking forward to seeing how that works. Now, when you were kind of growing up and stuff like that, I
Hmm.
mean, is that stuff that you wanted? Have you always wanted to do this kind of stuff? Like when you're in school and things like that?
But well, plot twist, I was homeschooled. So
Great.
so that's its own journey. So I mostly did theater growing up, but I
Okay.
was constantly making my siblings do performances for the rest of the family. I would make them, oh God, this is so cringe. I would make I would make my siblings put on performances at my birthday parties. I was that
Absolutely.
kid. We
Yeah.
like choreographed these dances to Disney songs, and I would say, "Okay, it's showtime." And my all my friends were
Love
like, "What?"
this.
And I'm like, "Sit down. We've got it. Don't worry." And then we would like put on a show because when we were creating Lost Joy, I thought, oh, this is weird. I never thought I would be making a movie or kind of like trying to or like lead this. But then I think back to my childhood. I'm like, oh no, you've always been
I've
crazy. Like you've
always done
always
this.
been, you've always been choreographing things. You've always been trying to like write little plays for your friends and your siblings to do. So yes, but it
So it
wasn't
was. It
intentional
was
at the time.
integrated with your childhood and
Yeah,
stuff, it sounds like.
it was subconsciously, I guess.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're going through now, this is you're the first guest I've had that was a homeschool situation, which is great because that
Love.
education experience is completely different than the public school thing, obviously.
Hmm.
As you're going through this and you're learning all of this kind of the normal stuff, who was primarily the person that was teaching you? Was it mom? Was it dad? Was it a combination? Somebody else?
Dad tried once to help me with math, and I think both were crying by the end of it. So Dad quickly became the principal, right?
Okay.
So my mom was the primary one teaching us, but my younger sister right under me were about 14 months apart. So we both kind of were uh doing the same levels
Yeah,
of
close
school,
enough.
like
Yeah.
the same, yeah, we were kind of doing the same grades. She's also brilliant at math, and so, like she's a straight A student, so people were like, oh, she's doing higher stuff. I'm like, no, I need to dumb myself down to her level. Like
Oh, okay.
like,
Okay.
so it kind of would be like my mom would teach us, but then we got to a point where we could kind of teach ourselves or like
Yeah,
teach each
sure.
other. And I say that and I already know people are going, oh, so they didn't get an education. Oh no, mom still graded our
Oh,
tests. I still would
yeah.
fail a chemistry test here and there. Like I still had to work for making good grades because, my
Yeah.
mom,
Well,
she's being smart about it.
well, and two things to know about that. Number one, when you say people are saying, don't worry about that. I think we have 9 listeners right now, so don't worry
The
about
press
that.
is already on my back.
I am going to get the Winter Bassett bump, that's for sure. I know after this, but
Hopefully. Otherwise, that's embarrassing.
but then the second thing is, I mean, you still have to go through the process to get the certificate, to get the
Exactly.
So if you don't have that stuff, you're just not going to pass, and you're just going to waste
Exactly.
a bunch of time. So,
And
no, that's
a
absolutely legit.
funny anecdote for you too. So I have 5 siblings. So there's
Oh my
6 of us
gosh.
total. I know, crazy. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, it is.
So there's 6 of us, and I believe, I could be wrong, maybe it's different now, but at the time, technically to be a registered school, you need a minimum of 6 students. So we were literally a registered school.
That's
And
crazy.
and my mom would get teachers applying. Oh, can I work at
Yeah.
Bassett Academy, whatever? And it was like, no, we're not.
LLC. Come
Yeah.
on. That is awesome.
So she was very on top of the, making, you still got to get the certificates and all that jazz. So we were covered legally and, whatnot.
That's amazing.
Is
Can you
that funny?
imagine just like one day you have a knock at your door when you're getting ready in the morning and it's just like 2 students outside? It's like, my parents
Yeah.
told me I had to come to this school.
I heard art class is in the living room. Like, what?
Where's E5? That's my bedroom.
E5, that's my room. Down the hall to the left.
All right. So that was a unique schooling experience for sure.
Yes.
So I think I might already see where this is going, but I could be surprised. So Winter Bassett, who's your favorite teacher and why?
Okay, actually, I am going to talk about one of my favorite theater teachers. So,
Hey, okay.
yes, because we did a ton of theater programs, and because we were homeschooled, we were kind of able, I think, to jump around. So I actually had quite a few teachers growing up. They just mostly were for theater. But my favorite teacher, who I'm going to talk about, or one of my favorite, I mean, I love so many people. One of my
Sure.
favorite teachers, she totally, I think, influenced my life. Her name is Danielle Levis, and she
Levis.
was a choreographer. She was my first choreographer in my very first musical. And the specific theater program my siblings and I did growing up, it was like an after school program, which
Huh?
for us was after home. But in order to do the shows, you had to also sign up for a weekly class. And so they would always rotate the teachers in and out, but sometimes would choreograph the shows, and then sometimes she would do the classes. And it was kind of like, oh, if Danielle Levis is taking a dance class, like you should get into her class.
That's the one to get into. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know, I think I always knew I wanted to do this professionally, and she was a constantly working dancer. Like, she would be doing professional shows regionally and teaching
Okay.
us at the same time. So I just was like in awe. And I knew I wanted to choreograph too. Like, I've choreographed quite a
Oh,
few
interesting.
musicals, and
Okay.
she was so good at it that she just was. I was just enamored by her. She's the best. And she's still
Because
teaching to this day. She's incredible.
she is. Okay. And so she not only was she teaching and going through the stuff and teaching you how to choreograph and teaching, I mean, also just dance, but she was a working professional. She was somebody that was in
Yeah.
the job that she was teaching. That's fantastic.
Well, and
So
there was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, my sister and I, we talk often about this one story. We were in rehearsal for some musical. I think it was. I don't even know what it was, but I remember.
Come on now, you got to know what it is.
I'm trying to. Well, I don't want to say the wrong musical because we had a couple choreographers, so I don't want to steal someone else's
Gotcha.
credit.
Copy
But
that.
it was some show, and we were in rehearsals, and Danielle kind of told us at the beginning, okay, I'm waiting on a phone call to see if I booked a job or not. So if all of a sudden I get a phone call, if I run out of the room. So we all were like so excited, just like waiting for her to, get her call or not. And she got her call, and she runs
did?
out of the room, and she found out she had just booked a professional production of Legally Blonde the musical at this theater
No.
called the Moonlight Theater, which down in Carlsbad Vista is kind of like the big, like, you want to get into shows there. And she booked it, and she got dance ensemble, and she was so excited. And the director came out and was like, guys, do you see how excited she is? You guys, sometimes we can get so wrapped up in just wanting to play the lead, just wanting to get, the roles with a line. But look how excited your teacher is that she is in a show. And it just was such a good, like, learning moment for everyone of like,
Yeah.
just be grateful if you get to be in something, just be grateful for it, because for her, it was a job.
Right.
Like, I don't know, it changed my perspective on so many things. Because obviously it's so fun to have the lead.
Of
It's so
course.
fun to have the funny part or have lines or whatever. But
The
just because
umbrella.
you don't, the umbrella,
Hmm.
it's so fun to get the umbrella treatment.
Right, right.
But just because you don't doesn't mean you can't be thankful and have a good time. And because it really is, I mean, film, TV, theater, whatever, it is such an ensemble
Totally.
world, and it only works if everybody is doing their job and is happy to, it only works well, I should say, if everyone is happy to be there doing their job,
Yeah.
and contributing to the environment. So that's just a moment that always sticks out in my
That
memory
is
of her.
amazing. That's amazing
Yeah.
because that's a real world example of really just,
Hmm.
again, her experiencing something live and being just excited to just be a part of the ensemble. I'm going to be part of a
Yeah.
show and part of a team that makes this thing come together. Because, I mean, it
Yes.
doesn't matter if it's a theater show, if it's a movie, if it's a TV show. It takes, an army and a miracle to get that thing made all the way through. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's a moment for
what
us
was her
I
character
cherish.
like? Well, like, what do you remember? Just kind of like the class sessions and stuff like that. What was she like?
She was tough as nails, but in a non-toxic way. Like, because I don't know, I've dealt with mean choreographers where they're just
Sure.
being mean just for, I don't know, the sake of being, like, you're kind of like, what, like, why? We're here making a show. Like, it doesn't need to be, it's not the end of the world. Like, my God. And she was tough as nails, but in a way that was motivating and like you wanted to do a good job. It wasn't you wanted to impress her, you wanted to do a good job for the sake of the show. And that's
Uh,
always something I felt like she would just, because she would be honest. She would say, okay, if this is sloppy, I'm going to cut you. If you don't know your choreography, I'm going to cut you from the number because that's not fair to everyone else who is putting in the time and looks good doing the choreography. If you've got the wrong arm up and the audience's eyes go to you, like she just was very
wow.
logical about it all. And it was very about, it was, she led with such a team effort mentality, I feel, that it didn't, like, because even if she would single you out, it didn't, I don't know, maybe, and everyone's experiences are their own, but for me at
Sure.
least, like if she would single me out, it motivated me to want to be better. Like I was like, okay, shoot, I need to get my crap together because she's got it together and I've got a
I
team
love
behind
that.
me like to make sure that, we're all elevating and lifting each other up.
That's cool.
But yeah, she was very, very tough. I think she's had a kid. I think she's gotten nicer since, or at least she told me that. And in fact, I've even had to, because I've made some theater skit TikToks or whatever of
Okay.
like, snarky choreographers. And I had to
Right.
text her and be like, this isn't you. I hope you know. Because like she
So
like made a comment one time.
you're still in contact with her on a regular basis. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay,
Too
very
regular.
cool.
We got coffee. I think we got coffee last year. But she's
Okay.
still in contact with some of my family members. So, and we see each other on social media and whatnot. So we'll just kind of cross paths. But we also share a birthday. So I think we're just
That's
spiritually
cool.
connected.
That's cool. So does she know? I mean, she knows what you have accomplished here recently, right? I'm sure.
I think so. Yeah, every once in a while she'll text me and be like, I love your theater skits.
She does
And I'm
more of
like,
the social media
yeah,
stuff that you're doing. Okay, okay.
yeah, yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
no,
Well, if you
she
were
was
to,
very influential in my teen years, especially. Yeah.
absolutely. If you were to, this is always the part where it's not a surprise guest. It's not like I'm going to have her join the Riverside here or anything like that. But if she were to, like, if she were to pop in on this call, I mean, what would you say to her, just in terms of?
Oh man, I think I would just say thank you. Thank you for always being honest with us. Thank you for always being hard on us because it was like I said, it was a motivational type of tough attitude that she kind of brought in. And also I really would want to thank her for how professional she was towards the students. She would always say, I this is back when friending Facebook was kind of the big thing. She would always say, I won't friend you on Facebook until you're 18. Like she had very good boundaries with her castmates because I know the theater world is very it's kind of a big spectrum. And
Yeah.
obviously we've all had theater teachers and people in that environment who maybe aren't as professional or can cross some lines. It's just it shouldn't get sticky, but it can sometimes, especially when it comes to kids and adults and whatnot. And she was just always so good with that. So I think I would just thank her for leading with a good example, and like I don't know. I still think I like truly she's like one of the biggest motivators I think in my life.
That is so cool. I mean, to be able to
Yeah.
hear, and lately we've had a lot of stories where it's just like, how they kind of treat the one individual and see something in that individual. And I know she saw something in you as well, but I
Mhm.
love the fact that you're saying that it was teaching and kind of being a little bit particular about stuff for the sake of the whole, which is actually a really interesting thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, we haven't heard that yet. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to be the sole choreographer. I got to choreograph my first show when I was 17. I was choreographing at a high school, and I had like assistant, been dance captain or assistant choreograph before, but I had never done my own full show. And I emailed her and asked her, could I just get coffee with you and just pick your brain, like ask you questions? How do I? And she sat me down, and it was so nice. She was like, always know which measure to tell the accompanist. Like when you're choreographing, make sure they know where. Don't do the. Can you start at the da 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 da? She's like, have your
Right.
stuff together. Be organized. Be on top of it. It's okay to mess up, but just be truthful. And if you mess up, just go, okay, sorry guys. Like she's like, there's no room for ego.
I love
There's
that.
no room for ego. Just go in and be prepared. Essentially, is
Right.
is the biggest takeaway I took from that.
Well,
Which
that's
I
so
am a
cool.
Virgo, so that also just kind of
Fits
just kind
right
of
in.
comes
Absolutely.
with the territory. Yeah.
Well, just the practicality of that, to be able to kind of go through and give some actual real instruction too, because I've had theater teachers as well. And sometimes they're just so aloof and so kind of out in the ether that you just kind of learn by proxy. And it's really
Yes.
cool that she sat you down and said, hey, listen, have your stuff together. That's really cool. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was like, okay, yes, ma'am.
I love it. Oh, it's so great. Winter, thank you. Thank you so much for just
Cheers.
being on this and telling us about your story and just kind of the background that you had and all that kind of stuff. We just really appreciate it. And I mean, as everybody knows, and I kind of am starting to get probably a little bit annoying that I say this every time, but part of our goal is just to let other teachers out there know if they're hearing this, that what they do matters and it makes a difference.
Mm.
And that story is just going to ring true for people that are doing that same thing and say, wow, somebody is paying attention and they're listening, because a lot of times you don't feel that they are. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I
Oh,
I I hope it helps.
I think it will. I think it will. We want to get to a part of plugs, though. I mean, we've already talked about all the exciting things that are kind of happening or have happened. Is there anything that's coming up that you're excited about that you want to share about?
Yes. Well, if you want to find Lost Joy, it is available on Apple and Amazon, and I believe YouTube movies, kind of where all the indie films are. And
Absolutely.
then I have a tiny little part in a movie called Swiped that's coming out. I don't know when this is going to air, but it's coming out on the 19th, so in like 2 days.
Oh
I have a
yeah, it'll be
quick little
out.
blip. Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, check Mountain Swiped. It's
Cool.
got Lily James in it. It's a very good film. I actually highly recommend it. I got to go to a screening and it was brilliant. I loved it so much. But I have a tiny little part in that. And then I have a TV show I don't think I'm technically allowed to talk about yet, but it
That's
comes out
okay.
it does come out in December.
Very
If
cool.
there's if there's any new cool fantasy type shows coming out in December, you might see a familiar
Mm,
face. I won't say where
okay.
it is yet, but I
Well, and
will
I'm
when the time
sure
comes.
people can find out about it from your social medias when the time is
Of course.
right, and you do get to
Oh
promote
yes.
it. So, how can people find you, Winter?
Oh yes. You can find me on Instagram at Winter Bassett, and then I'm on TikTok. I believe it's also at Winter Bassett. You just type
Very
in Winter
good.
Bassett, I'll pop up somewhere.
I love it. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to talk to you. I mean, honestly, we could probably go on for hours more,
I
but
feel
I
like we could.
really
I
maybe
told you
there'll
I'm
be
a
a part
yapper.
two.
Yeah.
There'll be a part two, and we'll bring you back, and we'll do part two because then we can talk about some of that
Yes.
the crazy school situation you had going
Oh
on
boy. I would love that.
there. Thank you, Winter. I really appreciate you being here.
Of course.
And to everybody else that's out there, thanks so much for listening and for watching. If you're watching us on YouTube, we just really appreciate the subscriptions and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, if you're listening on Spotify or any of those Apple situations, please go on to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. It does help. And again, we just love that you're listening and love that you're not only listening to positivity, but that helping to pass this message on to teachers, because we do believe that every great person has a favorite teacher. So thanks so much. Have fun out there. Be nice to everybody. Thanks again,
Mm-hmm.
Winter. We'll see you later,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.